Hey, welcome back to the Reality Guys. Brett here today with a very special guest from CBS's new breakout hit, Buddy Games, which is premiering at 8 p.m. on Thursdays on CBS and Paramount Plus. We have Brian Hudson with us, aka Huddy. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, no problem. And you do go by Huddy, right? Instead of
Yeah,
Brian?
I think
Okay.
there are literally people in my life that don't even know my first name. So call me Huddy.
Okay, great. Awesome. And so this is not an exit interview. You are very much still in the game on the show through this week, episode 4. So we just want to learn more about your thoughts up until this point and your experience overall. But I actually just saw your Instagram post earlier, and I saw you might want to talk about Yo's spill.
Looks like they're going to win this.
So let's talk about
Yeah.
that first.
Yo's spill, man. What a tumble off the dock. He's a big boy, and once that train gets moving, man, I think it's hard for him to hit the brakes. And we've been having some fun photoshopping him falling through other periods of times and movies, and he's being a good sport about it. But just glad he didn't get hurt. But it's just funny, right?
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, good thing he did not get hurt. Was that water shallow? Do you know?
No, the water is pretty deep on the beach side, where around where the beach was. It was pretty shallow, but the rest of the water is definitely deep. We were good to jump in it.
Okay, cool. And I think he was the only one not wearing flippers, right? During that point, do you know?
He was the only one not wearing flippers. Yeah, the guy without flippers is the one that falls, right?
Right, right. Yeah, maybe it was too slippery for bare feet. But so anyway, you guys won that heat. You ended up not getting the best overall time. And were you surprised when Team Pride, who won, didn't sabotage you? And they went for the Derby girls, your allies, instead?
Yeah, we were a little bit surprised for sure. They had already sabotaged us once, so in our brains, why sabotage anybody else? Why make a new enemy, right? Um, they did come to us and talk to us and tell us they were not going to sabotage. So the show did not show that. So we knew, but only very shortly before they let everybody else know. I think ultimately Team Pride, like the rest of the house, kind of wanted to take the teams of 4 down to 3. I think that was kind of a general consensus at that point of time in the show.
Right. Okay. And the Derby squad, is it fair to say they're your guys' number one allies so far this season?
Absolutely. I would have never thought in my life that a group of cowboy frat bros from Oklahoma would end up best friends with a bunch of Derby squad chicks from LA. But they were, yeah, they were our best friends almost immediately. And it was kind of shaped up to be us two against the rest of the house. That's kind of how it's playing out.
Right, right. Yeah, they definitely seem like a fun bunch of girls as well. So they even at the beginning of this episode, they made you guys get down in your skitties and jump in the water.
Yeah, they also toilet papered our room right before that. So they toilet papered our room, stole all of our shoes, and we had to jump in the lake naked to get it all back. But it was all in good fun, man.
Right, right. And also going back to, I know the first episode. So watching that, I thought you guys were easily the front runners. You know, you have an all male team. You're from Oklahoma. I have family roots in Oklahoma. I was
Yeah.
curious though, why did you sabotage Philly?
Yeah, we talked a lot about it. We had only known the house for less than a day at that point that we had to make the decision, and we knew we were clicking with the Derby squad. We wanted to keep a good relationship with the pageant queens, who we also thought we had a lot in common with, and obviously we keep saying we shared a bathroom with them. You cannot upset women that you share a bathroom with, right?
Right.
Um, we had talked a lot with Team Pride at that point, and Chicago, the cops. I also work kind of in the law enforcement field. I thought we'd be able to work with them, and we had just talked to Philly the least, and we also looked at them from a strength perspective. We thought that they might be a threat a little later on down the road. So it was just kind of the decision we came to. Who knows if it was ultimately the right decision, but at the time, what we had to go off of, that's where we went.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So basically, just so far, episodes 1 through 4, just everything after that. We don't want to spoil anything, but what are your thoughts as far as the whole experience being there on the show, and then also being able to rewatch yourself back on TV?
yeah, the whole thing, what an amazing experience. They had sold it to us as, trip of a lifetime with your best friends, summer camp for adults. And it was that. I think the show, when you watch it, the competitions are fun. It's got the drama element, right? But the one thing I don't think they've shown is how much fun we genuinely had in the house together. Everybody, all 24 people, really got along and clicked. And it was just so much fun. I mean, you didn't have your cell phones, you didn't have your job, your kids, no responsibilities. So board games, we made up games, we were taking bike rides, and Josh Dumel could not be a cooler human being. I mean, he was amazing. He was personable. He would, he would hang out with us and almost get in trouble for hanging out with us when he wasn't supposed to be. And overall, it was an amazing experience. As to what it's like to see yourself on TV, it's a little weird. It's a little surreal. You hear things and you're like, did I say that? Because it was filmed so long ago. But it was cool. It was definitely cool. I would recommend it to anybody that wants to put in for season 2. I know you've said you and your friends might be thinking about it. I would not even hesitate. Submit your application today.
Okay. Yeah, actually, so I know you had shared on Instagram at one point the application portal. I tried to find it again last night and couldn't find it, so I might need you guys' help to get that resent out or where I can find that. But I was curious.
Yeah.
So
just Google Buena Murray casting and you'll find it.
Okay, perfect. So how did your team end up getting cast? So I know that we actually got connected through Instagram. You liked my first the premiere episode review I did. So then we followed each other on Instagram. Your name is Huddy Buddy Okay. That is like the most perfect name for the show. Like, did you guys find the application or did they find you?
No, I was watching Thursday Night Football and sitting on the couch having a beer or two, and Mark Long, the Godfather, the challenge Godfather himself, had tweeted about it. And it was just a flyer that said friend groups, competitions of a lifetime, looking for friends that have been, together for 20, 30 years. And I just applied and I submitted my application. It took a few minutes. And the next day, a casting director called me. We talked for over an hour. And she said, I want to interview your friends. And I said, let me call them first. Okay. So I called a bunch of buddies. And next thing you know, we're flying out for the show.
Awesome. When was that? When did the casting process start, and when did you actually get out there and where were you guys?
Yeah, the casting probably started about a year ago is when the whole casting process started. For some teams, even earlier. We flew out the day after Thanksgiving last year, and the show's just now airing. I think the writer's strike may have something to do with when and where it aired. Who knows if it was supposed to air in the summer or the spring? I have no clue as to any of those details. I think there's some misconceptions online that, this show's because of the writer's strike. They just threw some show together, and that could not be further from the case. It was filmed a long time ago, and it was actually filmed in Bogota, Colombia, up in the mountains. Crazy high elevation. It's higher than Denver by comparison. So when you see all of us 40-year-olds running around looking winded, just keep in mind we were pretty high up there. So
okay, I believe it. And was it cold? It looked cold, right? Were you guys playing around in the water? I saw this episode. There was something where you have to walk the plank in the future. Do you guys jump off of that for fun, or is it too cold to do that?
If you've seen it in the previews, then it might be happening. Yeah, and not for fun, that's for sure. The temperature fluctuated big time. You'll notice we're in layers a lot of the time. It would be cold, it would be hot. The water was always freezing cold though. And that last challenge, it was so cold that day. The water was so cold. Palmer actually had the early stages of hypothermia because we were standing around so long, got in the water. The challenge took so long. They put him in one of those special like space blankets. He looked like a human Pop-Tart. And it took him forever to recover. He's already, really pale and pasty. He doesn't even get a tan, but with the hypothermia, he literally turned blue. So it's pretty cold there on some days.
Okay. Yeah, I've worked on film sets here in Atlanta, Georgia. No reality shows, but like movies and things. And I definitely know there's a lot of sitting around and waiting. So I've always wondered on reality shows, like competitions, how long are people there before it starts, there during the comp, and then like doing the interviews and stuff afterwards? I'd assume it's a lot of time out there to film all that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of downtime. They got to get everything set up right. They got to get the interviews done. They got to tell you the rules, and then some of them we got to. You've seen Josh as the test dummy, right?
Yep.
So sometimes we got to see Josh go through the comps, which was awesome and
Oh, you-
hilarious. And not every time, but a couple times we did get to see him, and that made it fun. And into the lane. But yeah, there's a lot of hurry up and wait to make it happen.
Right. Okay. And when I originally did see the casting call, I think it said something about you needed teams of 6 people. Maybe I misread that, but is that true? Were there other buddies you guys had, and then just only 4 of you got selected?
Yeah, originally they interviewed about 10 or 12 people in our friend group, and they whittled it down to 6. And then they eventually whittled it down even further. We had an alternate, and our 2 other team members are amazing people. They'd have been so great on the show. And then our alternate even ended up not even being able to go, but some of the other alternates got to fly out there just in case things happened. And yeah.
Okay. That's interesting because I know with the reality guys, there's 4 of us, so trying to get in like alternates and things like that, I don't know if we could do that. So I know all 4 of us would want to be on the show, so hopefully none of us would get cut from that process and bring in someone random that we or
Yeah.
one of our other friends outside of the YouTube show we're doing.
Well, that's what I kept saying is, we're doing these interviews, and I was like, man, I applied for the show and all my friends are so much cooler than me. I'm going to end up getting cut and they're going to get to go and I'm going to miss out. So I was worried about the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're glad to see you on the episodes and on the season. I definitely think you probably get the most confessionals so far through the episode. How does that process usually work? So all 4 of you are sitting there, right? Does everyone just get a turn to speak, or a question's asked and maybe one person usually speaks up first, or they edit things out? What does that all look like?
Yeah, they would ask direct questions. They would ask questions to the group. Um, Yopine and Yo and Craig sometimes would struggle, answering some of the questions. I think the way they want them for TV,
Right.
But I think you'll get to see Palmer talk a lot more in future episodes. He hits his groove, um, at least next episode, and um, yeah, I think you see Andrew talking quite a bit. He's getting a lot of screen time. I think, you know, everybody on the show is great. Like Zoe is hilarious, and all the Derby Squad people are great. And Steven and Summer are so funny. And Elise, they need to give Elise more confessional time. She's probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. Everybody was awesome. I hope you all just get to see everybody's personalities as the show keeps going.
Okay, great. Awesome. And the fact that you say everyone was awesome, I was remembering last week. So Devi, was she as bad as they made it seem? Because her squad kind of turned on her. Would you feel safe speaking to that, or should we not talk about that?
No, we could talk about it. They had their thing going on, and Devi personally was never any way to Team OK. We knew she was talking and scheming to other people. Since the show's been over, Devi's visited us in Charleston before, where I live. If I got to pick a side, I might say that Devi was the one that was instigating most of that. I think that the other girls might have come off as mean girls a little bit. I don't think they were being mean girls. I think they were kind of tired of what Devi was putting them through. And, they wanted to play a cleaner game. They wanted to ride the middle, and they felt like Devi was doing just too much. And, it's not hard to call out your friends in front of it. It's not easy, I'm sorry, to call out your friends in front of everybody. So for Lauren to speak up and for, Yolanda to try to have a conversation, I think they were just tired of putting up with her stuff in the house. And if they've worked it out since then, I'll let them speak on that. But I actually hung out. I'm in Baltimore. I hung out with Yolanda, Lauren, and Lourdes last night, and we watched the episode together, and that was really cool. They're awesome people. So yeah, it's unfortunate that they went through all that on TV, but at least it was entertaining.
Oh yeah, it was definitely entertaining. And yeah, I did see that you were hanging out with them in Baltimore, and that it looks like you're going to challenge Mania tonight, right? So I guess
We are, yeah,
yeah,
we
big
are.
challenge fan.
Say it again.
You're a big challenge fan, then I take it in other reality shows.
I'm a huge challenge fan. Yeah, I'm so excited to meet Derek tonight, and they've been beyond gracious to host us at the event. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm a reality fan for everything. Big Survivor fan, Big Brother fan for sure. I really enjoy you guys' podcast. You guys' short recaps are money, especially for shows I don't watch. I mean, I'll just listen to them whenever you're telling me about something in 60 seconds. I know you do the long form stuff as well, but yeah, y'all are doing great work.
That's awesome. Yeah, the challenge, that's my true dream. If I could do any show, be on any show, it's the challenge. Would you want to be on the challenge? And do you think anyone from Buddy Games would get an invite to CBS's The Challenge?
If the challenge called, I'm picking up the phone. I'll say that. Yeah, I would love to do the challenge if given the opportunity. Who wouldn't, right?
Right.
There are multiple people on Buddy Games that I think could do the challenge and that would enjoy the challenge. If I had to put together a squad to do it with, that would be really hard to answer. Melissa and Rachel from Derby, yeah, let's go. Sarge, I think he'd do great on there. Elise, I think would do great. I think Andrew could hang in there. I think Palmer would be a no-brainer. And there's others too. Like I'm not going to be able to sit here and name everybody, but yeah, I think I met some people from the challenge a couple weeks ago too. I met Chris Underwood and Sebastian, and they were great. They came to a Buddy Games watch party, and we watched the challenge afterwards. And yeah, if they call, I'm answering.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely CBS, Paramount Plus. We need to get Buddy Games involved in that CBS challenge universe.
Why not? Let's make it happen.
And so I guess just a little bit more about you. You want to share anything else about you or your experience on the show? I know you're from Oklahoma, right? Where exactly? And you moved to South Carolina, correct?
Yeah, grew up in Oklahoma, born and raised, and went to Oklahoma State University and moved out to Charleston about 10 years ago. And we love Charleston. My wife has some family there. We didn't think we'd be there forever, but we haven't left yet. Still miss Oklahoma. I know you said you got some family there. Oklahoma's great. We get back there a lot. Like our group is really tight. I know hopefully the show's, shown that, but we get home at least once a year. We take vacations together, and Oklahoma will always be part of my heart, even though staying in Charleston for now.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. My whole mom's side of the family lives in Tulsa. So we
Yep.
go up, growing up, we would go out there actually twice a year. Now that we're all adults, maybe like once every 2 or 3 years, but it was always a fun time hanging out with them, going to the lake, riding four-wheelers. And
Yeah.
My cousins, they went to Oklahoma State as well. So
Go Pokes. Go Pokes. Yeah.
And so I guess my final question, and anything else you'd want to talk about or share, if you were to win, what are your plans for the prize money?
Well, before the show, we had always talked about, maybe purchasing like a vacation home together, like get a lake home in Oklahoma that we could all go to. And if we won, maybe that's what we'll spend it on. Who knows? I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to keep tuning in to see if we can make that happen.
All right, definitely will. We definitely will keep tuning in Thursdays at 8 o'clock on CBS and Paramount Plus. Is there anything else you would want to plug, like your social medias? I know you guys have a charity you're promoting as well.
Yeah, if you go to my Instagram page, which is Huddy Buddy OK, we're just selling shirts. 100% of the proceeds go to bladder cancer research, kidney cancer, any urological type of cancers that our teams have personally been affected by. It's just a t-shirt. We're just trying to raise a little bit of money where we can, do some good with these like 8 minutes of fame we got left or whatever it is. So if anybody wants a t-shirt, links in my bio. But other than that, I don't have anything else to hype up, man. I appreciate the time. Hopefully people are enjoying the show, tuning in, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Awesome. All right. Well, Huddy, if that's it, I appreciate your time. It was awesome to meet you, speak with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys hopefully win in the finale here in a few weeks.
Yeah, go team OK, man. Thanks a lot.